Good morning, dear students. Welcome back with a new lesson, Composition of Matter. We'll be discussing some topic about the matter. We'll start with the questions which is given in your textbook. What are the various states of matter? We have already studied the various states of matter are solid, liquid, and gas. What is the difference in ice, water, and steam? These are three different physical states of water. Ice is solid, water is liquid, steam is gas. What are the smallest particle of matter called as? They are called as atoms. What are the types of matter? Element, compound, and mixtures are the different types of matter. Now, certain topics from this has been deleted, so we'll move little ahead and move towards the intermolecular structure of the solid, liquid, and gases. The intermolecular force of attraction acts between the particles of matter. The extent of particle movement is determined by the strength of this force. The particles of solid are very close to each other. You can see in the diagram the solid particles, the intermolecular space is very less, they are very close to each other, they are compact. Due to this, solid gets properties like definite shape, volume, and also high density and non-compressibility. The strength of intermolecular force is moderate in the liquid state. Now, in the case of liquid state, the molecules are little apart from each other, and therefore density is less as compared to solid. Though it is not strong enough to fix the particles in definite position, it is strong enough to hold them together. Therefore, it will have the shape of the container. Though volume will not change, but the shape of the object will change because of the fluidity. As a result, liquids have definite volume, however, they have fluidity and the shape is not definite but changes in accordance with the container. The intermolecular force is very weak in gases, and that is the reason the molecules are maximum apart from each other. You can see the diagram here. The molecules are very far away from each other, density is very low, they collide with each other, and therefore very less molecules are there in a given space. Therefore, the constituent of particle or gases move freely and occupy all the available space. Consequently, gases have neither definite shape nor definite volume. The figure shows a schematic representation of submicroscopic picture of the physical states of matter in table 6.3. So, in the written form, this table gives proper explanation about shape, size, volume, compressibility, and intermolecular. We'll just go one by one. In case of solid state, solids are rigid, rigid in the sense they cannot be they are not foldable. You cannot fold them, you cannot twist them very easily. Then volume is definite, shape is also definite, compressibility, hardly any compressibility is there, no chance on the shape, a change in the shape of the object. Distance between the particles very minimum, therefore they are highly compressible, or you can say their molecules are very close, very compact with each other, they are very strong bonded with each other. Intermolecular force of attraction is maximum in case of solid. Now we'll come back to liquid. Liquid, it is fluid because it has tendency to spread and therefore it is fluid. It has definite volume but indefinite shape because molecules are little bit apart from each other. The compressibility very less. The intermolecular force, since it is in liquid state, molecules are little apart from each other and therefore intermolecular space is moderate. It is very less as compared to solid. The distance between the particles we can call it as moderate. Now, in a physical state, if it is in gaseous, if we consider about the gaseous, since gas has the ability to spread everywhere and therefore it is fluid. The volume is indefinite. Similarly, shape also indefinite. Compressibility very high. It can be compressed. Shape and size can be changed. Intermolecular space, intermolecular force of attraction is very weak, and distance between the particles are very large. Now, if we consider composition of following materials by the means of chemical formula, we can classify them accordingly. For example, water. Chemical formula of water, we know it is H2O. Since two different atoms are there, it is called as compound. Second is carbon. Chemical formula only C, and therefore it is element. Oxygen. In the air, it is always in the form of molecular form O2. The chemical formula will be O2, and again it is element. Air. Air is a mixture of various gases, like for example oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen, etc. And therefore air is called as a mixture. Aluminium, it is always in the atomic formula, and therefore its chemical formula is Al, and it is an element. Brass. Brass is a mixture of copper and alloy, copper and zinc. Therefore, chemical formula, there is no particular chemical formula because it is a mixture of two different elements, and therefore it is called as a mixture. Carbon dioxide chemical formula is CO2. A type of matter, since two different atoms are there, they are combined, and therefore it is called as a compound. This is the second method of classification of matter. In this method, the criteria used for the classification of matter is chemical composition of matter. We have seen in the previous standard that matter is classified into three types: element, compound, and mixture. By considering whether the smallest particle of matter are similar to different and they are made up of all the smallest particles in an element or a compound are alike. However, the smallest particles in a mixture are of two or more types. The smallest particle of an element contain identical atoms. For example, each molecule of oxygen atom contains two oxygen atoms in a bonded form. The smallest particles of a compound are formed by joining two or more type of atom in each other. For example, each molecule of water contains two hydrogen atoms joined to one atom of oxygen. The smallest particle of a mixture of atom molecules of two or more elements or compound. For example, main constituent molecules of mixture, namely air, are nitrogen, that is N2, oxygen, that is O2, argon, Ar, water in the form of moisture or steam, H2O, then carbon dioxide. Similarly, the mixture of an alloy, brass contains atom of copper and zinc, while bronze contains atoms of elements copper and tin. The figure shows a schematic submicroscopic picture of the types of matter, namely element, compound, and mixture. So this table gives a clear difference between element, compound, and mixture. That also with the help of the example. Nitrogen molecule here always in the air it is in the form of molecular form N2, and therefore 2N is always joined together. Then in case of compound, two different atoms they are joined together or bonded together. Like for example, they have shown about NO2. You can see the diagram. In the diagram, one white circle is there and two shaded circle is there. The white circle indicates nitrogen and two shaded circle which is joined, that is oxygen, that is nitrogen dioxide. Then mixture are those substances which do not react chemically with each other, just they are mixed with each other, but they chemically they do not react with each other. For example, N2 and NO2, nitrogen and nitrogen dioxide, they do not chemically react with each other. Second point, another example they are given, O2 in element, in compound they are given the example of nitric oxide, and in mixture they are given example of nitrogen and oxygen. So with the help of these two examples they have created or they have given the difference between element, compound, and mixture. Now further points are there which they creates differences between element, compounds, and mixtures. The constituent substance of element is only one, and is that element itself. So here no different elements are there. All elements, all atoms are alike, same. That is in case of element. Now, in case of compound, the constituent substance is only one, and it is that compound itself. Here, constituent two different atoms they are bound together, and one such type of compound is formed, and therefore the constituent is fixed, and it is only one compound itself. Then constituent substance of a mixture are two or more elements and or compounds. So mixture can be of either two atoms or molecules or compounds which do not chemically react with each other. All the atoms in a molecule of an element are alike and are joined to each other by chemical bonds. So fixed bond is there between the two atoms in case of element. The constituent atoms of a molecule of a compound are of two or more types and joined to each other by chemical bonds. Now here not necessarily that same type of bond is formed. Two different type of bond may be there between the two atoms because two different atoms are there in case of compound, and therefore bond structure may be different depending upon the two different atoms. In case of mixture, the constituent of a mixture are different from each other and are not joined by the chemical bonds. Since they do not react with each other, there is no chemical bonding between the two atoms or two substances in case of mixture. Atom molecules of different elements are different. The proportion of constituent elements in a compound is constant. Always the constituent of the elements in a compound is fixed, that never changes irrespective of the places. Like for example, if I consider H2O, everywhere the constituent of water molecule is H2O. It will not change as per the place. It will always water will always be referred or written as H2O. Similarly, carbon dioxide will be written as CO2. So carbon dioxide won't change irrespective of the places. So the proportion of constituent of element in a compound is constant. The proportion of constituent substance in a mixture can change. Here proportion is not fixed. It changes again and again. It will depend upon or it may vary. The constituents may change depending upon the taste. For example, if I'll consider chuda is a mixture. Depending upon the taste, the constituents